What's up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americans.
Say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody to use a first word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know,
yeah.
Pull out your card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right.
Now I can go back to minding my own business. Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
But you bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine. Right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like that.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
What up, y'all? Good to see y'all. It's Monday. Hey, Carl. Good to see you. Ma'am, always a pleasure. And my brother, there he is. Yes, sir. Always. I think y'all, we got some congratulating to do. Matter of fact, let me just bring the family on and get this thing going. Brother. Yes, sir. Madam.
What up? What up?
Yeah.
Going on?
What up?
Good.
Black in his Mr. Rogers sweater. I love it. Comfortable. You hear me? Comfortable.
I'm old.
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
I
A
tell
wonderful day
Yes,
in the
sir.
neighborhood. Would
I'm
you
gonna just
be
tell the
mine?
ladies. Yes, sir.
We got a cold front coming through here.
Oh. and sister, tell them you represent the Mavericks today. All right. Yeah.
All right.
They
All right.
won. Yeah.
Watch out
And listen, ladies and gentlemen, my brother, he has finally made it to AARP status. He is earning money for these shows, and he can't give it up, brother Kenny. He's monetized now.
I'm at that first line. But
That's all right.
I'm almost at that second, so I'm at that first one, so I can get super chats and all that good stuff now.
Yeah.
It's only popping.
What was that girl name you talked about last week, sister? She
Which
come
one?
to see. She come to want to be getting them money babies or whatever you said.
Who?
Chick.
Drea. Oh, yeah.
Drea?
Oh, no, she ain't
Drea?
come to see me. No, she ain't come to see me. I ain't got nothing for her. She better stay on over there.
All right. What up, Craig? Good to see
What
you.
up, Craig?
All right. Hey, he is again. Yes, sir. So listen, y'all, and all the rest of y'all be back there. What's up? It's all good. I'm gonna tell the principal to come get y'all. Y'all can stop hiding out back there behind them curtains. Listen, it is Monday. It's been 7 days since we seen y'all, but a lot is going on out here in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get started, again, remember, if we say something you like and you love, go ahead and hit us up in that Cash App. We certainly appreciate it. And but
No doubt.
yes, sir. All right. So listen, y'all, let's get into this thing because yes, sir. There he is. Congratulations, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Carol.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
Appreciate your support for sure.
Yeah. So now y'all go watch his show there. Y'all can pay him a little bit. So y'all go check him out.
Right. Yeah.
We'll get there, but I don't know how. So anyway, I ain't gonna start.
Yeah, when we getting there, we coming.
Yeah.
Oh, TFG
Yeah.
tonight, we're gonna get there too.
Yeah, we're gonna get there on your back though. We're gonna come. Gonna ride your coattail back there.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
so listen.
now I'm Kunta Kinte now, huh? I'm told you now, huh?
Well, listen, you can be Kunta. You just better make sure your last name ain't Kunta Trump because they in trouble.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Now listen,
Right.
he told her he had his lawyer tell the judge today that he ain't got it. Craig, tell him he ain't got it, Craig. Donald say, I ain't gonna come up with that 464 by next week. And again, listen, he went to 30 different insurance companies. And all of them said, if you ain't gonna bring that money, we don't want them houses. They want straight money. And I said, I don't blame him. And so now he wants the judge to lower the bond for the appeal. Now, again, I don't know what's going to happen between now and next week. I'm just telling y'all, we talked about it last time, and we was like, somebody gonna hand. I didn't think these big boys gonna hand it to him, but Black. I mean, you think that's the end of the fat lady gonna sing on this one?
Ironically, no. The sad truth of it is, and I did a little video on this. If this was one of us, the standards would be different. I always talk about two Americas, and you think about the irony of this now. The judgment against you're guilty because you overinflated your income, and now that you have to pay, you want people to give you money to bail you out for the money you can't pay. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, if this was one of us, when creditors come for us, they want their money. You know, they don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts. We'll see what had happened was, but again, when you are in the upper echelon, it's amazing how things get pushed back. You can petition for this, you can petition for that. So I wish I could sit here and tell you that the laws are going to work the same, but he's Donald J. Trump. He's a white billionaire. The fact that we're even entertaining such effery and foolishness tells you everything you need to know.
Well, now I think that J gonna stand for Jigaboo because he ain't doing it. What he, you know, because again, he say all the rallies he doing. He said he's stiffing everybody right now. He said he ain't got it, man. I mean, sister, I know you don't like talking about him, but I mean, you know, what you think?
I think Trump playing in everybody's face and everybody falling for it. Trump know that if he play broke or pretend he needs some money, that the folks gonna make it rain on him because they stand behind him like that. If Trump wanted to come up with any amount of money, he could come up with it about a weekend. Trump is playing in everybody's face to see how much money he can get from the public because he know they're not gonna do nothing to him. Y'all know I don't believe nothing until nothing happened. I need to see him in a jumpsuit, singing Negro spirituals in the back of the jail before I believe that Trump is going to actually get locked up and do any kind of time. I just don't believe it. I just feel like he playing everybody's face because he know if he play broke or play like he needs some help, them folks will sell their grandkids to get Trump some money to get whatever he wants done. He needs to start a church when this is over. He'll have it going on. He'll be bigger than Osteen.
Well, listen, now the problem he's saying is that if he have to liquidate his assets and he win the appeal, that he's not gonna get that money back like that. And so, you know, this is fair play for me. This thing has come full circle because you deflated the property. These folks say they don't know what that money's about, but you know what that property about. But Kenny, I mean.
You know, the late great Malcolm X said, you know, the chickens are coming home to roost, and I guess maybe that's what we're seeing in this situation. But I'm kind of like Lady D. Until I see it with my own eyes, until I see the justice system is gonna, like, you know what, we get a conviction out this dude, I still think he's Teflon Don. I still think he's gonna figure out a way to weasel out of this, in my opinion. And I think I wonder how much of the influence of Letitia James have with these bond rules, because I think she has a lot to do with why they not playing this, letting him use his real estate to use as a bond. You know what I'm saying? Because they want straight cash, homie. It's like, we want straight cash. It ain't gonna be about your Mar-a-Lago estates, all this other stuff. We want straight cash. So I think Letitia James, he done found out you done messed with the wrong black woman. Yeah. You might have had Omarosa in the White House with you, but she wasn't the one. You done found the right one. And we ain't even talked about Fannie Willis yet. So, but anyway, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, Letitia ain't no Fannie because she ain't playing. So again, that's just what we gonna see. I'm just telling y'all that's where we are today. And like I say, we'll be back next week because that's when it's gonna be over with, and we're gonna find out what he gonna do because that's just what it is. All right, speaking of money, Will Smith. Y'all remember the Oscars just happened, and I don't think I didn't watch them. Y'all watch them? I don't care.
I don't watch the Oscars anyway.
Okay, I know. You know, after that, listen, they got a real good handcuff on these boys now. They ain't letting nobody get up there acting fool no more. But listen, Will Smith, he done took another L, y'all. Disney dropped him from Aladdin. Millions
I don't
of
think
dollars.
anybody's surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Really?
I'm
Why?
nah.
I think they would let it pass.
I just think that they probably want to distance themselves from that. I mean, you talking about Aladdin? I think that's a animated cartoon. I think he was just going to be doing voiceover, continue doing the voice work, what he was going to do. And I just think Disney don't want to deal with the backlash of that. So they was like, it's easier just not do it at all. Like, we're not going to even do the sequel to it. And so I think I'm not surprised at all.
I don't know, Devin. I'm gonna let you answer Craig's question. Why now?
Well, they must have found out somehow that they had to do some kind of poll or something like that to find out that people would be anti him, and they got so many other Will-ish type celebrities that can do the voiceover. You know, Kevin to work 20 jobs at Kevin Hart. So I mean, there's so many other people that can do it. You know why? And if y'all ever watch a movie, even though they make money at the box office, they also make money from a lot of the sponsors and things like that. And if nobody wants to support them, and if, let's be honest, certain people say they're not going to the box office because of it, they're not going to risk their money over no Will Smith. And plus, I mean, and Will probably didn't make a big deal out of it because I think he's in the process of filming Bad Boys. So probably not the big deal.
Oh, yeah. No. I guess. Well, Black, you say you weren't surprised either.
Not even a little bit. I agree with Brother Ken and Sister D in 100%. This for me was a complete business decision. If you haven't been watching, these big studios are not making the kind of money they used to, especially when you consider the Marvel franchise, which is owned by Disney. There's no such thing as a sure thing anymore. They've been trying to reboot some of these things, and unless they can truly guarantee a return on income, I just don't think that this is something that they want to bet on. It's an animated film, like Brother Kenny said. This is not something they're ready to pour their money into, even at the hint that there's still the slightest bit of backlash where because Will Smith is not all the way back just yet. And so I think it's just from a business perspective, it just made more sense not to go out on a limb. He's not the only. They've cut off projects from other major stars as well. So this for me was just a business decision.
Wow. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, y'all ain't hurting Will. I know that much. But so like you said, they'll just find somebody else. But all right, I got two more. I think we're gonna talk about followers. There's a lot that it's everything coming back around. Y'all remember we talked about that 4-day work week. But we were talking about them how it was working for them over there in Europe. But Bernie Sanders. He's submitting a bill. He says this bill is over a 4-year period would lower the threshold required for overtime pay from 40 hours to 32 hours. It will require overtime pay at a rate of 1.5 times a worker's regular salary for work days longer than 8 hours, and it would require overtime pay at double a worker's regular salary for work days longer than 12 hours. The 32-hour Workweek Act would also protect workers' pay and benefits to ensure there's no loss in pay, according to this news release. That boy might want to take them papers to that restroom and flush that down the toilet. That ain't going nowhere.
No, it ain't.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that Diddy? I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Ain't nothing happening with that.
Nothing. I don't even know. And again, I don't know. I don't know if Bernie Sanders know that's not finna go nowhere. So I don't know. I mean, Black on. Y'all know you got some. Hey, Miss Diane.
Hey, Diane.
I agree with you guys 1,000%. That it's not going anywhere. But here's the value in it. Bernie Sanders, he's never going to be president, never going to win. But here's what he's very good at. He raises issues that speaks to the other America, the one behind America, the two Americas.
That's true.
And he's very good at that, so that he makes just enough noise that it interjects itself into the political cycle, so that when the main candidates are running, they're going to have to address this still, because it will become a thing, and it'll see whether or not it gets any popularity, and to where they speak to it to a little bit. You're right. It has no chance in hell because it goes against everything that the real America is about behind America. See, the America banner tells you it's the home of the land of the free, the home of the brave, capitalistic system. But the America behind America is about the top 1% keeping the busy bee rest of us working our asses off to keep this mill going. But by fixing this, it does force these two main candidates that when they go in certain markets, wink, wink, and they have to deal with us working class folks. Well, what do you think about this? Because how are you planning on making my life better when I'm working to death and I don't see myself getting anywhere? So it just sets up for another table of lies.
Yeah.
But good to see that he interjects those little things in there that they'll have to speak to, because they're going to tell us the same old lies anyway.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to get this to you. It says the release describes the legislation as an important step toward ensuring that workers share in the massive increase in productivity driven by artificial intelligence, automation, and new technology. Moving to a 32-hour work week with no loss of pay is not a radical idea, Sanders says in a press release. He says today American workers are over 400% more productive than they were in the 1940s, and yet millions of Americans are working longer hours for lower wages than they were decades ago. That has got to change.
I don't think they care. I thought the narrative after COVID was nobody wanted to work. And so now the half people that got to come back after COVID go work only 32 hours. Get out of here. There's no restaurant, no hospital, no nothing that's going to perform like that. Now I do see robots making your hamburger at Burger King, but that's the most that I see. Like as far as the ones that require boots on the ground, it's not going to happen. Nobody even came back to work after COVID.
Kenny, the CEOs are not happy about all this. And so they said, but while CEOs' wages are increasing, it says our workers are finding themselves doing more, yet earning less than they have in decades. Welcome to capitalism. Right. I mean, I don't know what this fight is about. I just, like you said, Black, it's just throwing pennies in the ocean.
I have to agree with Black. I think the Bernie comes out with what when you talk about the little people like us, he comes out with these things that the little people like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Somebody fighting for the little man, but we all know Bernie Sanders ain't got no pull in Washington. That doggone them bills that the ideas he introduced ain't going nowhere. And no CEO is falling for this 32-hour work week. They not and the way they would do it, they would play the game, whereas they would have you working 14-hour days one day, 2 hours another day, 7-8 hours the other day, and make sure you only get 31 hours. So that's how they would fool around where you won't even get 32, so they wouldn't have to pay. You know what I'm saying? So I like Bernie Sanders. You know, he's the old white guy that's, you know, he's trying to do his thing, but man, the American way, the capitalism, the way it works here, it ain't going nowhere.
Or worse.
If we're being honest, though, I'm sorry, Black.
No, please go ahead, sis.
Honestly, if you think about it, there's some businesses that already do it, like your Targets and some businesses that are paying people $15 and $20 an hour. The way they can do that is they make sure you stay under like 30 hours.
You stay under the right,
so you don't earn overtime. So there are some businesses that can do that and get away with it. But there are other businesses like hospitals and healthcare that can't get away with that because we have such a shortage now of just nurses and therapists. There's no way. And to pay a nurse like overtime, that kind of overtime when they already make well over six figures, it's not going to happen.
Sis went exactly where I was going, because even if there was a remote chance, it changed the healthcare system.
Right.
And that's where they got us.
Yeah. Now, I remember one of my kids, they were getting excited because they were going to get $20 an hour, but they were only going to work 10-hour weeks.
Right.
With us, like Biden did with student loans. That's what he's doing.
Right. Yeah. Yes. What'd you say, Diane? She says, at some jobs you would lose your. Yes. That's right.
That's true.
That's right. Over 8 hours. You ain't got 40. That's it. You ain't doing nothing. Okay. All right. I said I got two more. So they finally made the decision. Finally done kicked the old boy off the team. and she can keep going. That Donald Trump in trouble. Now, listen. We have a resident petty woman on this show, and I'm gonna just tell you.
Yes, we do. We sure do.
I'm gonna just tell you, Devin. What do you think Funny Will is gonna do to Donald Trump?
First of all, she should come to court. She should come to court with her T-shirt on with his mugshot. That's the first thing she should do. The second thing she should do is talk about how he probably got high blood pressure and diabetes and ain't washed his ass in 7 Sundays. And just bring that in to just also say how he's not credible because, I mean, look at his cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? And she should make it a point when she's interviewing to say that she getting down by the dude that's gone now and minding her business just to piss him off. Y'all know I would do every day just to piss him off, starting with the mugshot.
Listen, listen, this one of them mugs you wasn't supposed to miss. And I think he missed with the wrong one this time. Like, she ghetto fabulous, and I'm telling you, she gonna bring out all the stops.
While I agree that there was a win for her blackness, and she stood up for true nature of black women, that she wasn't going to be pushed around, and I give her credit for standing her ground. In my mind, they won. They were successful in what they did, in my mind. For me, they sullied the waters and muddied them up enough that regardless of the outcome, it is tainted. And they've literally, in my opinion, given him all the ammunition that he's going to be able to use in need. I think it was a mistake. And for me, as much as I like her, she's lost all credibility in my eyes. What? It's not right. It's not fair. But for me, and I love everything I'm sitting here telling you, I think everything she said was correct. I'm not the one on trial, this, that, and the other. But the way the American court system works is when you put a lying bitch on stand, she's still a lying bitch. Even though the woman's a prostitute, her eyesight might be perfect. But when you question her credibility, what she does, it shouldn't matter, but it does matter. And that's the way it works in the court of public opinion. And that regardless, he's dirty, he's guilty, he's this, he's that. In my opinion, his people did what they were supposed to do. And I've been saying this personally when it comes to cases like this of personal credibility for P. Diddy and for anybody else. It would not do for me to be a billionaire because I would do the exact same thing. If you come for me, I'm going to come for you personally. I'm going to attack, even though it has nothing to do with nothing, but I'm going to do enough to, in the eyes of the public, that even if he loses, well, you know, this was personal. This was a personal attack. I think they think they did their job. I love her. I respect her as a person, as a woman, but his attorneys, they did their job because when you're in that position, you need to be blameless. Your background needs to be spotless. There shouldn't be skeletons in the closet. And she had way too many skeletons in her closet.
Now I will say she ain't no Tish James, but Kenny, I don't know if I agree, but I think she gonna get that boy the business. Listen, that's a cantankerous woman, and okay,
cantankerous is good, but we talking about the American justice system. I mean, that can as much as I ain't gonna say it pains me, but much as you can see on my face, I kind of have to agree with my brother Black. I think this is a win for Donald Trump. I do. I just think because they've put some gas, they put some water in the gas tank, and now the car ain't gonna run. I think it's still gonna run, but it's not gonna run as good because they didn't put that doubt in public's opinion about Fani Willis, and I think that is definitely hurting this case in the long run, in my opinion. Do I think they can they figure out a way to maybe get something on him? Obviously, yeah, but I think in the long run, man, I think this is a win-win for old Donald J. Trump, in my opinion. Okay,
listen, that's what I love about what we do here. We're gonna let time see. I I don't know. What's going on, Felicia? She said,
Hey,
I
that's
agree.
my classmate. What up, Felicia? What's up?
Okay, all right. What's
Thanks
up?
a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. She said, yeah, they turned the tables on her. It shifted the focus, and she looks kind of bad. Yeah, but that evidence gonna speak for itself when they get back in there. And then we gonna see. We're gonna check it out.
And that's true, but
Right.
Brent, they didn't turn the game. They didn't shifted the focus away from that evidence, and nobody's really talking about that anymore.
But
they
because
talking
the trial
about Fannie
hasn't started.
Willis.
Yeah,
Right, but now the public opinion, they hold mine in when they go in there with the jurors. They gonna still.
I'm gonna give y'all a Batman reference.
You know,
I'm gonna give y'all a movie Batman reference. In The
Right.
Dark Knight, how did he become Two-Face? When Harvey Dent was prosecuting all those people, the mayor asked him point blank, go back in the movie. He says, well, now, if we do this, you better not have any skeletons in your closet because they're going to come at you with everything they got. And go back and watch the movie, how he became Two-Face, because it calls into question every other decision, whether it's right or not.
Okay. Listen, that's why we do follow-ups, because we're gonna hit this thing back up. Craig say, listen, they better have 12
yeah, hey Craig, you probably right on that one.
You're right.
You're probably right. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun day.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I got one more and we out here. So on March the 21st, y'all look for Lee Black on Hulu and Freaknik.
Oh, wait a minute. That's this week, right? Oh,
that's
that's this week. Oh,
that's
okay.
Thursday.
Yeah, all right.
Now, sister, you was thinking, you said some of your classmates gonna be on there?
No, I don't think so. Not from my little town. We had to get a ride.
Okay.
I'll watch it when it come out on free TV. I'm not paying for it, but I'll figure out a way to watch it. I'll watch the clips. That's what I'll do.
Then she said, look at Carol. She said, yeah, look for him. He'll be the one.
We're gonna be looking for him too, Carol. We're gonna be looking for him too.
I wasn't, just so y'all know, I wasn't fat back then. I was slim and sexy.
So if we spot him on TV, I'll take a picture and I'll put the little white bubbles up. That's Lee right there. Just put it. So yeah, but in Texas, we had the Capitol Beach party. So Freaknik was what?
Okay.
ATL. So yeah, as long as they staff them over there, we're gonna be all right. Hey, Miss Jackson. She said, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Tamar?
This has caused such a delay that Trump will. Yeah,
correct.
Right. Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna keep talking about this because again, I can't wait till we get to November. Y'all just make sure your gun licenses hadn't expired now. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a follow-up, and I know it took quite a bit, but there was a lot going on, so I just wanted to make sure we touch all that. So, I'll go on and move y'all the money maker up early so that he can get his points out here. But my brother,
hey, what up? There you go, my man.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to get there, so we all.
Yes, you are.
Hey, man. Hey, wait, we're gonna get into this thing real quick. It ain't gonna be too long, but I hope everybody had a good weekend. We're talking. Guess what? It is March Madness time, baby, and it is. You got to get your brackets. Make sure you get your brackets. We got the men and women's tournaments. They're going to be tipping off. We got the men's play-in tip-off on Tuesday. The women's play-in games tip off on Wednesday. So we're going to talk about the NCAA tournament college basketball. And I got a question for Black, but I'm saving him for last because I already know where he going to go. We already know where he going to go. So I'm going to save here for last. I'm going to start with Brenton. Are you interested? Are you even interested? First of all, are you going to fill out brackets, and are you even interested in the men's tournament this year?
No.
Why?
No.
Why is that?
I've never been interested in like college basketball. It just never interests me. Okay. Never. I mean, I don't bet on them like that. I know guys do, and again, I know it's become more and more. Like it's more interesting to others because now more states have allowed you to bet on these games. Other than that, if I had that interest, maybe, but no, I've never watched it. Normally when they get to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, then I may start watching, but not this stuff. Not now. I ain't into that.
Got you, Miss Devin. Let me let you guys know who the number one seeds are, first of all. On the men's side, the number one seeds are UConn, Purdue, North Carolina, and Houston. UConn is the overall number 1 seed for the men. For the women, the number 1 seeds are South Carolina, USC, Iowa, and Texas. South Carolina is the overall number 1 seed on the lady side. So, Lady D, since you got on your Dallas Mavericks pullover tonight, your hoodie, what you think about the tournament? Are you even interested in watching either the men or the women?
Nope. But if you tell me I'm going to a whole lot of money, I'll think about it. Just tell me where to bet and where to send my money. I'll do that, but I don't give a damn.
So you don't give. So you're not gonna root for the Lady Texas, the Longhorns.
I don't even know who plays, but I bet it's somebody named Keisha because it's always a Keisha ball.
Wow,
Lady D, you off the chain. What about the Houston Cougars? You're not gonna root for them on the men's side? The Houston Cougars. You're not rooting for Ace Town? Oh, okay.
I'm from Dallas. I don't care.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. Y'all Dallas Houston folks. Y'all be going at each other like that. Craig says March Madness is the only time I watch college basketball. I got you, Craig. All right, so I had to say my man Lee Black for last because y'all already know where I'm going with him.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna watch the women's tournament, Brother Black?
Not even one iota of it at all. Lady D said it right. The Keishas and Aishas and them nappy-headed bitches, I'm not going to watch not one moment of it. Don't give a damn. What fight they had, I don't want to see masculine women playing ball. It's bad enough that I got to compete with these butch hoes out here to get some snatch in my own house, let alone do I want to see them playing sports. Hell no.
Again, the views and opinions expressed by Lee Black, they are his and his only. They don't necessarily are the views of TFG tonight. Just want to put that disclaimer out there.
Right.
I would say this. I'm going to be more interested in watching the women's tournament. And I'll be honest with you, I like women's basketball, and especially college. And I think we got storylines on the women's side. South Carolina, they're undefeated. They're coached by Dawn Staley, who's a sister. She's doing her thing, and they could be they can win this thing undefeated. Obviously, we got Caitlin Clark at Iowa. She's done her thing. She's brought a whole different excitement to the game as well. Then we got LSU, Angel Reese. Got there going on. So I think it's just more excitement on the women's side for me. I'm the men college, it's just kind of ho-hum because I don't think there's no dominant team on the college men's side. So again, I'm going to be more interested in watching the women. I'm going to watch the men, but I'm going to definitely be tuned in to watch South Carolina, USC with that freshman guard they got, Juju Watkins, she's dope, and Iowa and Texas. So that's just my take. So again, make sure you get your brackets filled out. If you're going to do it, you got to get them filled out before I think a certain time tomorrow, if you're doing the men's and the women's, if y'all doing all that thing. So again, that was our NCAA tournament report. I'm going to toss it back to you, Brent.
Yeah, now you did make a good point. Now, I will say you're right. There's better storylines on the women's side, and that is a first, especially for them playing around the same time. So now that you mentioned that, I may watch more of the women this time probably than I do the guys, but yeah, So all right, well, listen, hold on. I got a little overtime for us, if you don't mind. Kenny said something to me, and I heard him, but I wasn't gonna really believe it until I saw it. So I'm gonna show y'all something, and then I just want to talk about a couple things. So hold on, here we go. That man's still a dog. At 57 years old, that man is still a dog. Now, listen, this is a real thing on Netflix. Now, I don't know when they fighting.
July the 20th, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. It's going down. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Yeah, Jerry's World.
Wow. Okay, Craig, we get there in just a second. But so Mike still, man, listen. Now, like I said earlier, I know when Roy was a boxer, so he know what Mike can bring to the table. Now, I don't know how much that white boy getting, but Black, what'd you say they finna pay Mike?
He reported he gonna get at least $20 million.
I'm watching Netflix on July the 20th. I'm gonna tell you because Jake Paul ain't scared, and he probably got a cap on that money. He got to stay in there a little while. So I don't know. Sister, you watching, Mike?
I kind of want to watch it, but I don't trust that dude's fights. I feel like a lot of them are like thrown for a lot of money, and this is probably Tyson's like last fight, and I don't want him to go out like that. But then I also heard from something I saw like yesterday or the day before that Jake Paul has created all these rules, additional rules, as far as like fighting Mike Tyson would probably where he can't knock his head off, which is what I want to see. So I would like for it to be a true fight because I watched a few videos of him training Mike, because Mike's still a beast. So I just want it to be legitimate, and I just want him to go out. Like, I want dude to look like Martin did when he got beat up by Thomas and Hitman Hearns. And that'll make
it probably won't be like that, Lady D. Be honest with you.
Right.
It's up to the Texas boxing rules and regulations to how they're gonna sanction this fight. If this is going to be an exhibition fight, like the fight Tyson did with Roy Jones Jr., they already gonna know that you're still gonna box, but you're not gonna be going 100%. You know what I mean? So if this is an exhibition bout, that's most likely what I'm leaning toward. It's probably gonna be. They're gonna be hitting, but it ain't gonna be. It's gonna kind of be like a sparring session, pretty much. If you know what a sparring session is going to be like. Now, if it's sanctioned as a real boxing match, then it's on and popping. That is it's going down. But until Texas boxing rules and regulations decide how they're going to sanction it, then we won't know until it's that time.
Mr. Tamar, now listen. Now, if Mike was fighting Mayweather, he'd probably get 90 million. But
yeah,
I know Jake Paul.
And Miss Tamar, I think it's probably going to be a little bit more than that eventually. Obviously,
I agree. That's the minimum.
They're not right. That's the minimum. They're not doing pay-per-view, obviously, because it's on Netflix. So they've already got a contract with Netflix. But you got to think about the other money that comes into play as far as sponsorships and all that other stuff, as far as ticket sales that's going to be happening, because we know probably AT&T Stadium is probably going to be packed out. So whatever percentage is, how many, Jake Paul's going to get the bigger percentage, obviously, because it's his company that's putting this on, but Mike is going to get a part of the gate as well. So, and all the other stuff. So, I mean, Mike is probably going to come out of this thing making $40-50 million, in my opinion. I think that's how much.
Therein lies the reason why I won't watch it. To be honest, it's a joke. I won't watch this. This is a joke. It's actually a travesty. And in my opinion, Jake Paul, you can, depending on how you look at it, he's in a win-win or win-lose situation. You fighting a 50-something-year-old man. So if you beat the hell out of him, who have you really beat? Except the name.
Right.
I looked at your face, Brenton, and that's what he's doing to be able to tell your kids, I beat Mike Tyson, but a 50-something-year-old Mike Tyson. If Mike beats you, you lose all credibility that you're climbing towards this. Now, again, you got to generate as much excitement as you can. So the minimum you're guaranteed, Mike, is at least 20 million. But if you can get people to come and watch this, like you said, Brother Kenny, he stands to make twice that. He made 10 million for the Roy Jones fight. But my thing is, even when I watch Mike train, and thank God Mike don't know where I live because of what I'm about to say, the reality is, in the immortal words of Bruce Lee, boards don't hit back. All that fast shadow boxing shit like that. Even if they fight, I would put my money on Jake Paul. That all.
Oh hell no, Black. Put
me.
That drink down. Black, put that drink down.
And that's why I said boards don't hit back. Mike is not. He's a shell of himself. And again, I think he would get that ass ate up.
Wow.
And let me say this in the words of Mike Tyson: everybody has a plan until they get their ass hit in the mouth.
I love it. Air don't hit back.
What? Black? Hold on, somebody at the door.
Just give it to him. Like, dang.
Oh man. Well, listen, I watch for Black, and so we're gonna see. Go ahead, Kenny. Craig, want to hear your thoughts about
how do I feel about the Justin Fields? I think I think the Bears, I think they messed up in my opinion, because I think Caleb Williams, who I think they're going to pick number one, I don't think he's going to be that dude. I think Justin Fields wasn't given a chance to succeed because he's had three different offensive coordinators since he's been at Chicago. But for Justin Fields, I think it's a great move for him. You can sit,
Yeah.
you can learn behind Russell Wilson,
Russell Wilson.
and
And play
then
for
you
Mike Tomlinson.
and then pay for Mike Tomlin, and then you playing for a bet. In my opinion, the Steelers are one of the better organizations in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think it's a win definitely for Justin Fields.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that story. That's gonna be good.
I agree.
So,
I agree,
yeah.
Brother Kenny.
All right, y'all. Listen, I think we all own a vehicle. I think maybe Lee probably drive his a lease. Go nowhere. Pick up chicken and honeys and whatever else he
Hunting
pick
them
up.
holes is the mileage I put on my car.
I just hope you ain't got no muffler on your car. That gonna be it. Anyway. So listen, I know we probably all have felt this thing. Our insurance rates have gone up, right?
Yep.
On these cars.
Mhm.
So
Yes, they have for sure.
man, listen, I didn't know how bad it was until I started reading this article. But apparently, not only has car notes gone up by the business, the street article by the New York Street, whatever their name is, I don't care. So they reported that 0.3% to 0.6% is expected. The insurance is expected to go up, but then it also increased 1.6% since 2023. And here's the reason why. Apparently, it says, so what's behind the rise in rates? It says a couple of things. First off, repairing a car has gotten more expensive, up 6.7%. That's thanks to more expensive auto parts and a labor shortage for mechanics. We got to go up that much? I thought it should only go up for people who having wrecks. I ain't having no wrecks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Unfortunately, it don't work like that.
There are other factors.
Go on, Black. What's it?
Literally, it's to sell insurance. They literally, they
It's nothing you
literally
haven't
look
done.
at your zip code, and it depends on the area you live in, the amount of drivers, and the fact that you have more accidents. And this younger generation, Gen Z, Gen X, they're acquiring cars and driving at a much quicker rate than we used to. Back 20, 30 years ago, you had to wait to get your driver's license at 14, maybe 14 if you're lucky, 16, and then you got it out there as a driver. Now there's far more drivers on the road, far more accidents. And again, Sister Devin pointed to the fact that after the pandemic, a lot of people just didn't go back to work. So you have not only less workers, but even when auto parts are being delivered, you got less drivers delivering those parts, things of that nature. And so even the fact that I work from home and I average less than 100 miles a week driving, and I literally only go to the supermarket and hunt nasty, filthy bitches, my insurance rates have gone up because of the zip code that I live in and the amount of drivers out there in the area that I live in.
Wow.
And that's the God's honest truth. Which
Wow.
I'm gonna go no further than that. So it's all of these factors. I'll lastly add this. Don't you guys think that if they have no moratorium on rents going up, food going up, gas prices themselves, do you really think the insurance companies was going to sit pat and think we can't get a part of that? Americans are demonstrating, as much as we complain, we are willing to pay higher for rent, higher for food, higher for gas. And so once you show that trend, it's not going back down. And that, again, is the two Americas, that they will price gauge you until you burst and put you in a situation where you will have to work 2 to 3 jobs just to make it go away or just to live a normalized life. And that's the travesty of it all.
Sister, I'm going to give you this one. It says how much you pay also depends on where you live, like Black says, but it says according to the S&P and CNN, from January 2023 to February 2024, Nevada drivers saw the biggest bump in rates with a 38% increase in Nevada.
Wow.
And it says, however, those in North Carolina saw only a 5.5% jump. Y'all crazy. Y'all
Wow.
crazy.
It's insane. My car insurance is stupid high, but I kind of attributed it to the type of car that I was driving. But even before my most recent car turned on me, the bitch, even my liability insurance was expensive because I had planned on driving my car that was paid off until the wheels fell off. But then everything started going wrong with it. And so then I had to get a car note. So there you go. But so I had kind of factored in the type of car that I was driving and the price point. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot more expensive. I had also kind of factored in, I live in Texas, and here lately, I feel like we get a hailstorm every 2 weeks.
Right.
Ooh,
You're right
That
about
is
that.
cars. Somebody I work with, car was destroyed 2 or 3 days ago
Oh,
in
and
this,
didn't.
in this
Yeah.
area. Yeah. So I mean, so I just think there's a lot of factors to it, but it just sucks for people like myself, knock on wood, who never has to file an insurance claim, but my insurance is constantly going up and up, and I
Right.
don't understand it. I think it's just a price gouging thing. I feel like the cost of living keeps going up and up and up, but my freaking pay rate
yep.
Yeah.
staying the same.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. That's bad. I'm looking for them old essays with the little mom and pop insurance. Again,
I'm
they
still-
have you.
I'm gonna be crooked and keep one of them dealer tags on my car for the next 26 years. So you ain't got to worry about it.
Oh, Savon says, yes, middle class is getting squeezed out to where there will be only two classes, the poor
Yes, ma'am.
and the rich.
We already there.
We already there,
We
Miss
already there.
Jackson.
All right, Kenny, this on
Already
you. It says traffic deaths increased by 7,000 in 2022. The last year of full data that led to a significant rise in claims, which then led to significant losses for insurance companies. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Kenny have this one. You know, I've been around people who worked in insurance and those contracts, and them boys used to make a lot of money, but man, they're not hiring them like they used to. There's a long break in that. So I get that about these claims. But what you thinking about all this, Kenny?
I agree. I agree with Lady D. I mean, because I just think of me personally. I've had only one speeding ticket since I've been a driver. I've never caused a car accident since I've been driving. And I just like, why is my insurance so freaking high? I'm like, I hadn't had a claim. The one accident, the two accidents I was in, I was hit. It wasn't my fault. It was, so it was on their insurance, but my insurance rates keeps going up.
Yep.
So I'm like, how the hell am I? Why am I paying for others that are out here getting speeding tickets and causing accidents? So I always say the insurance game it's like the drug game, man. I believe that. I'm talking about home insurance. I'm talking about car insurance. I think it's all a racket. I just think that they want to get the most money out of everybody, and they know people got to have it, so they can do what they want. That's how I think. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I just want y'all to know why things is happening. So I told my kids, listen, you have a wreck in that car, just know you're gonna be walking from then on, because I'm not getting nothing else. Nothing. All right. Listen, I ain't from the boot, but I know quite a few people from the boot, and I'm just telling y'all should boot this law out. Because apparently the Louisiana governor has signed a bill that 18-year-old individuals can now carry a concealed handgun without a permit.
Wow.
These people think something finna go down if Trump don't get in office. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And again, I mean, are we going back to the Wild Wild West, Black?
Yeah.
Where you can carry your guns and anywhere. Y'all remember them movies? They just start shooting in the saloons and
Right.
I mean, these kids can't even. What'd you say, sister? They don't even know how to add, let alone how many bullets in a gun. I mean, what's wrong with you fools? I mean,
So it's sad, but when you name the state, when you think about Louisiana and
Yes,
all of
girl.
the gun violence and stuff that they have there, you remember once upon a time when weed wasn't legal?
right.
And ultimately, we knew that the war on drugs, you can't win it anyway. And then ultimately, it got to a point where the government decided that if we can't beat them, we have to join them. And so we have to figure out a way to capitalize off this. So when you take a state like New York City, for example, where now weed is legal. So when you look at Louisiana, where they have a lot of gun violence and death, things like that, it's just like to me, it's the sign that they're giving up, in the sense that we can't keep guns out of their hands, and they're getting them as early as 11, 12 years old. So we might as well sanction it to a certain extent and some kind of way get a grasp on it, because we're tired of expending the amount of police manpower hours towards this because we're fighting a battle we can't win. But what it speaks to for the Joe Q citizens living there, and now to know that 18-year-olds are going to be walking around armed and can't be arrested for it, that's not a state I would want to live in.
Sister, we used to be scared of them voodoo dolls. Now y'all better be scared of them 9mm.
Let me tell you something. They may tell you, little black boy, at 18, you can carry a gun without consequence and without permits or concealed or whatever. You're going to get your black ass shot. That's what's going to happen.
Is that what they're doing? They're giving the laws reason,
They're
huh?
going to see that gun on you, and they're going to immediately say you a threat for whatever reason. And it really don't matter because not everybody wears the body cams.
Nope. Yep.
And that's just not gonna go well. So as a result, you know what's gonna happen? The little black kids and the young black people are gonna be afraid to carry guns, and the other ones are gonna carry guns. And then now black people are being threatened by all the fools with a gun. So I mean, it's just not a win-win situation. But I also believe that this is coming out at this time for a reason. It's political season, and they're trying to get the Democrats riled up so that we can vote against the Republicans, which won't make a difference because Democrats are never in the Senate and all that other stuff. But I feel like it's a dog whistle, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really see it happening like that because gun laws, especially here in Texas, have always been lenient. You know what I'm saying? But it's never been something that young people have really cared to pursue like that. You know, now and a lot of times the young people at that age, the places they go, they can't even carry a gun. If you're 18 in high school, you're not even allowed to have a gun on you, regardless, because of the laws. You can't take it to college on college campus, regardless. I mean, so I kind of think it's a dog whistle to rile up people and to invoke fear.
The number one rule about having a gun, and I'm pro-gun, and I got a few of them, but Kenny, the number one rule is make good decisions. I got at least 3 kids that's around the age of 18. They don't do that. So where the disconnect?
Right.
You got to have a good temperament. You got to know how to be able to calm yourself down. That's one of the things you are taught. Like, let that be the last result, the resort.
Right.
No, that's not how 18-year-olds think. No.
You know what's amazing to me is those same 18-year-olds, I think, have to probably go through a driver's course to receive their driver's license to actually drive on the road. But now you're telling me in Louisiana that you don't have to take a class to even get a gun. You don't have to do that. You can carry a gun without a permit. I mean, this country is crazy. And here's the thing that I've always said. I think the state, every state has so many different laws and how they regulate their states. Everything is muddled. So every state can run it how they want to run it. So that's a bigger issue too, because there's no the playing field isn't across the board the same in every state. So you got somebody that's maybe live in Arkansas, where their gun laws are different, but they're gonna drive to doggone Louisiana to buy a gun because in Louisiana I can get a gun at 18. So I mean, it's just crazy, man. And again, I wouldn't trust I wouldn't trust myself at 18 to be able to carry a gun legally.
Absolutely.
And these 18-year-olds totally different than we were.
Absolutely.
That's right. They got a mouth on them. They always think they grown. Okay, man. Listen.
I think it's the southern state thing. These southern states they you know that I say it all the time. Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi, they all be doing some crazy ish when it comes to laws.
Population control.
Really? I thought George Bush did that, but okay, anyway. I digress. All right. Well, listen, y'all. She's here and she's ready. And whose business you getting into today, man?
Y'all know I don't bother nobody. I just sit up and watch TikTok and do my own thing and stay out of folks' business. But I came across Mike Epps' dumbass on
you said you was gonna do this.
On a podcast with Matt Barnes, talking about before he dies, he wants a chance at 53 to finally treat a woman right and to do right by a woman because he's never done them right. He's always cheated on them, had babies on them, yada, yada, yada. But before he dies, he would love to experience treating a woman right, being a friend, being faithful, being chivalrous, etc., etc. And for grins and giggles, I'm gonna start with Black. Black, how do you feel about Mike Epps having this goal in life to actually be a good dude to a woman?
Surprisingly, I understand it. I really do. It might not be popular to say that, but I think I get where he's coming from, to be honest with you. It comes down to the type of women that you've been with and experienced and been around. And I think, who you attract. And it sounds to me like the kind of women he's attracted and the things he's been allowed to get away with, I've often used an analogy. Why would I feed you steak when you're willing to eat spam? And so if that's the kind of women that you've been with that has allowed you to cheat and that's been the nature of your relationship, I get where age, wisdom, you reach a point where you feel like, you know what, I want to know what it's like to be in a relationship with someone that I don't cheat on, I respect, and I do all of those things, because if you've never done that, then that could be a goal. And it sounds horrible to say, but I think for me, I actually get where he's coming from. And it's horrific to think that at 53, that you're just now saying this now. But to me, it comes down to the kind of women that you've been with. And when you look at the landscape out here now, wow, you may want something different, because you do see that level of competition between men and women. And we've been addressing that so well on this show, on the Black Love series. But without saying anything crazy, I get it. I actually get it from where I see it. I do.
Brenton, it then came out right afterwards, because he's got a wife, by the way, a gorgeous wife.
Yeah, she is nice looking.
That he misspoke on this stupid show, like somebody had, something up to his head, and he was just joking. So do you think he went home and it was hell to pay?
Of course. Unless she is hearing impaired. Of course. And I was just acting, baby. No. But you see what happened. He had to come out and get that thing straight. So again, I mean, every man has put their foot in their mouth. Every man. Now, I haven't met one that hasn't. Unless, again, he has the inability to speak. But yeah, that was silly. Again, for men, and I say this about most of anybody, I didn't see the show. So a lot of times for men, if you're in a situation, especially if you're the person, you the main person, and everybody's around you is like giving you this energy, and you thinking that everything come out your mouth is just gold, and all of a sudden you just and then you're saying stupid stuff now just to keep the energy alive. That kind of sound like what that fool was doing. Everything he was saying was hitting, and everybody was, oh man, and his head got big, and he got full of that speech, and he said something stupid. We've all done that.
Very good point.
We've all done that. And so again, that's him and that woman. I ain't got nothing to say about that, because as you can see, she got that together.
You're right. Ken, do you think it should have mattered that he has 5 daughters?
I'm glad you asked me that. And I think you saved that one specifically for me. And I do. I think, and I said this last week about being a girl dad. When I had my daughter, that definitely changed my mindset on how I relationships with women. Now, let me say this. First of all, I never dogged a woman. That I've never disrespected women. That's never been in my DNA. So I ain't never had to do a Mike Epps and say I got to treat women better. I've always treated women with respect. So let me say that I can't relate to him on that. But for me, he has daughters. And I think that I would have thought that he would have figured that out after he had his first one. So you telling me you done had, what, 5 daughters, and now you just not figuring this out? Not only that, you had a mother. Not only that, you think about the women you've dealt with. You got to remember, they somebody's daughter too. So you cool with disrespecting somebody else's daughter, and now you got your own. So my thing is, Mike, I kind of agree with Brenton too. I think with the male, we get in these conversations, and the testosterone gets to going crazy, and we get to talking, and some things we say we probably didn't mean to say it. I don't really think Epps meant to say that, but again, any man that thinks like that, and it's some men that have dog women. That's gonna be perfectly honest about it.
I
have. So there we have one on
We
on
know,
and he's admitted it. So my thing is, I think every man is different, but if you have a daughter or if you have a sister, I always say, man, think about your mom or your sister or whatever. Would you want a man to dog your mom or your sister like that? So
right.
And the answer is no, but in those years, you're not thinking with this head, of course.
Right.
You know, let's just keep it honest. I'm keeping it clean. And that's why I gave the analogy of why would I give you steak? You know, believe it or not, when I first set my foot on that road, I wanted to be the good guy. I really did. I wanted to open doors and be respectful. The response I got wasn't popular. So I became black because that's what they wanted from me. And the response was so much better. And I was loved and treated so much better when I treated them worse. I'm not proud of that, but that's the reality.
I appreciate your honesty too, brother. For real.
I hear you.
I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate his honesty because
I just had to add that. I know sis D, you're gonna bring it
right.
home, but
yeah, I know she's gonna bring it home too.
I've been that
and
dude.
I know a lot of dudes that's that dude. And I tell them, man, how would you feel if that was your sister or your mom, a dude, you know, doing it like that? So
I was that hypocrite
because
I wouldn't want you doing my sister or whatever, but you know.
Right. Yeah, gotcha. All right, I'm done, Dev. Back to you, Lady D.
All right. Well, I gotta say a couple things because y'all know I'm gonna speak my piece. First thing I'm gonna say that's nice. Ladies, this is our fault because we tolerate the bullshit. If we would stop tolerating it, then it wouldn't be accepted. You know, I don't know. I although it didn't always work out in my favor, I always taught my daughters that you need to keep your standards as high as giraffe coochie. And then if that means you have to be alone, that's fine. You make your own way, you make your own money, and until you find somebody that can treat you right. So women, we kind of have to take the blame for that. And some women settle for it because I hear them say, well, if I don't do it, the next woman will. Who gives a damn? Let her do it. Let her end up with every venereal disease on the planet while you over there with a fresh pH and a good smelling coochie. While this bitch over there getting her herpes and syphilis and everything from these dog ass dudes. Who cares? Let her do it until she learns that she deserves more as well. Second thing, the fool also said he cried because he wanted God to give him a son. And finally, his 6th child was a son after his mama passed away. And he looked just like his mama. But let me tell you something else for you dudes who pray to have a son. God may not have wanted to give you a son because while you in your idea want to have this son because you want this masculine person that you can raise to act like you a little boosie, you might like booty shorts, bitch, and walk around like Saucy Santana with long nails on. That's gonna be like you. He might grow up and be like your mama. That's why he looked like your mama with lipstick on and wearing his mama's clothes, you dumbass. There may have been a reason why you shouldn't have had one. And now you at 53, you want to try to act right by a woman when you got high blood pressure, diabetes, cirrhosis of the liver from drinking. You've been on drugs, your liver probably effed up, and now you want to treat me right. You can go to hell. I hope she treats you in a Tyler Perry movie and throw your ass in a tub and beat your ass, and then divorce you and take half of your money. And now I'm gonna go back to my.
This is a test. This is only a test. This has been a test. Thank you.
Regina King.
Well,
ain't nothing to add.
Ain't nothing to add after that. Lady D emptied the clip, as they say. She emptied the clip.
Wow. What's up, DJ?
I'm a quietly sip my drink.
You don't know how that son gonna grow up. He may be nothing like you expect.
Wow.
You want us to move on to the next time?
No, I'm quietly taking a sip. I ain't got nothing to say.
You know I'm quiet over here.
Bravo, sis. Bravo.
Okay. No, listen. That's why we do this show, right? Everybody, listen. Everybody got their spot. Everybody, they're showing the love. That's what y'all do. Come on now. What you say, DJ? But what about the women who ruin good men? No, sir.
No, DJ, that ain't the topic. We got to stay on topic. That's a whole different topic.
All right.
You get ready to start something. You get ready to start something, DJ.
No. Let's not cap.
Yes.
That ain't.
Regina King. Hold on. Okay, let's move that thing along. All right. Thank you, DJ, for your comment. Appreciate it, brother. All right. Regina King, she's a great actress. But her son, he was 26 and he made a decision no longer to be here by his own doing. We have to just be careful not to be censored. Right. And so the thing was, it was interesting to me. The only reason I wanted to have this conversation is because of Regina's perspective. Again, this type of right. Hey, you already know. No, she ain't gonna do that. We just ain't gonna let her loose now. All right. So, he been going to counseling. He said he was tired of talking. Again, she said she did everything she could to help him. But she said it was important for her to honor him. And she made this statement, and I want to talk about this. She said she respects his decision. I don't understand what that means. I haven't lost a child, and so I reserve judgment. But at the same time, I wanted to understand how could someone. And again, she says she's learning to cope with grief. She says it's a journey, and I understand that grief is love that has no place to go. Okay, fair enough. I have lost a loved one, but I just didn't understand that term, and so I wanted to talk about that. He had a mental a battle with depression. And I get that, but how do you respect someone's decision like that? Go on, sister.
Unpopular opinion.
Okay.
As a nurse, and maybe this is kind of where I'm coming from, I am not anti that choice for people, especially people who are suffering from illness. I mean, we euthanize our animals if they're suffering or miserable. So why should a person have to suffer through life for your benefit? You see what I'm saying? Now, I do think you should go through all the channels to try to help the person, meaning counseling, meds, being there for them, and things like that. Because you want to sway them away from that, because that's a permanent solution to what could be a temporary problem. But if you would just think on it for a second, an adult is an adult is an adult. And if you are truly walking through life every day and you are miserable, and you have no quality of life, and no matter what you do, what you try, take it to God, take it to the therapy chair, whatever you got to do, you are just so unhappy. Who are we to force this person to remain here because it would hurt us if they were gone? Now, I'm not talking about a child. I'm not talking about a teenager. I'm not talking about a super young person. I'm talking about one of us, even sitting on this panel. If we truly thought there was no solution, there is no hope, who are we to tell someone they're not allowed to do so? Because we only say that when it's happening. And then when we think they're okay, we move on. And they can
So-
still be sitting in misery. So I am not anti that, especially when it comes to people with terminal illness. I'm just
Okay. So then I have a question then, and again, the floor is open for us to have a conversation. But if you have children, or if you have, a spouse, is that not like a little selfish?
It is definitely selfish.
Mm.
But it's selfish because you feel like you're leaving them in pain and you're leaving them hurting. But if you remain here, you're in pain and you're hurting. You know what I'm saying? When you fly on the plane, they tell you to put your own mask on first,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So say this person is just not functional and now they become addicted to something. You know what I'm saying? A substance to try to overcome whatever suffering they're feeling and whatever they're going through. I do agree that there is some selfishness to it, but if you, let's say we've been in a relationship for 30 something years, our youngest child is 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? And your wife is good, and every she's gonna be functional, everything's happy. You're making her miserable because of your mental illness. She's suffering just to appease you because now you're dealing with alcoholism, drug addiction, things like that. I mean, and when I say that, I don't mean it's just a simple I'm upset, I want to do this to myself. But
Right.
when you think about someone truly suffering, not the kid that's just going through something because of bullying or seasonal depression, something like that. But if you know someone who is truly suffering, especially if they have an illness, is it selfish of us to tell them they're selfish for not wanting to be here?
Sure. Go ahead, bud.
So my opinions may be even more unpopular because not only do I agree with Sister D, I'll take it a step further. Doesn't have to be because you're dealing with illness. I think about Gary Bourdain, the famous person who took his own life,
The chef.
the chef.
Chef. Yeah.
Okay.
By all from the outside looking in, rich, famous, well traveled, and he just decided he didn't want to be here anymore. He wasn't suffering from any illness. Shaquille O'Neal has recently come forward and talked, openly about the depression that he deals with. He's famous. He's rich. He lost his entire family for decisions that he's made. He comes home to a massive mansion and he's there alone. And I'll talk about me. And I've shared this with my viewers on Real Talk. There's many a weekends that I ride around alone on a Saturday and I have these feelings of melancholy where sometimes I've asked myself, is this it? Is this it? I've got to this place in my life where professionally, I'm at the highest point I've ever been. I live in a beautiful apartment. My bills are under control. I have no financial issues. I'm not rich or no, nothing like that. But I live alone and I can eat and buy and go and do whatever I want. The reality is I work from home and I average about less than 100 miles a week from driving. I don't have anywhere I want to go. I don't club anymore. I don't party. I don't go to sports bars. I barely eat out at restaurants. For all intent and purposes, I'm somewhat of a shut-in, self-imposed, and the truth of the matter is, in many ways, I live here in Atlanta. I have no family and no friends. None. You guys have become my family in so many ways, and I look forward to doing this show. I took off work today, and I'll take off tomorrow for my health and wellness being, and I showed up here tonight because I wanted to see you guys.
Right.
And I look forward to this all day. The truth of the matter is, I understand the psychology behind getting to a point where, to Devin's point, I don't want to be here anymore. And it's the height of selfishness. I think suicide is one of the most selfish acts. But in that moment, when it's not enough, when you can't find reason enough to stay here for those others, where somebody can make that decision that I'm tired, I just want peace. And I even think about my 88-year-old mom. If at 56, I rise every day with aches and pains that I never experienced before, my quality of life has diminished. I have no anything on the horizon as far as a love life or whatnot. And professionally, I got all these things, and you feel sometimes cheated in life, not because of God, but because of decisions that I've made and the way things are. I know that if I can feel that, and I think about my mom sometimes, to wake up where her mind is still there, but her body she's imprisoned by her own body. I know even I face those decisions. The depression is that real for people. So when she says I respect their decision, I get what she's saying in a way, for me, at least how I'm taking it, that you can reach a point where if that person says, I don't want to be here anymore. I've done all I feel I can do. I've gone no further. Now, I thank God that for me, I haven't reached that point, and I still feel like I have reasons to get up and keep going. And when I say on my show that I look at Hannah and Burton, they're my favorite couple, and they give me hope, that's real for me. That's real for me. When I look at that brother up here in the right-hand corner, my fellow Capricornian, and he's in somewhat of a similar situation where he wants to, we're single, and talking to him sometime, he gives me hope that maybe there is something still, but I get where you can get to a place where I've done enough. I don't want to be here anymore. And I respect that.
All right. You want to put something on it, Ken, or you good?
I just want to say, just to speak on, Regina and her saying that, I think, being a parent of children that's in their 20s, if one of my children did that, I think that I that would totally, my life would be over. I'll be perfectly honest with you, because so I can't sit here and say that I would respect if my child decide to do that, the decision. I would try to understand it. Obviously you can't change it, and I would just have to figure out how to accept it. But that would be a grief that I would never, ever, ever get over.
Right.
If one of my children did that. And I'm dealing with grief of loved ones that's not my children, but just because of the loss that I've had. So I think Regina King, I don't know if I can't speak for her, but I think she was really meaning to say she accepted the decision. I think in my mind, I can't speak for her. I couldn't, as a parent, to say that I would respect my child's decision, but I would have to figure out and learn how to accept it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I appreciate how we all view life, and I want to invalidate anyone's experience. I just say, that ain't the ship I'm going to be on. And again, if I can, I think it's what's really important is that if you have people in your vicinity that you can give them a reason to want to live. And again, I know Devin's point. She's making a point specifically to a certain type of circumstance. But even to what she said, there are other people that think that their life is exactly like that. And it's just because you don't like how much you're getting paid at work. It's not the same thing. We got to get to a place. I told Black this before we got on here. I've come to a place where I no longer think people who what word did I say? I can't remember what the word I used. What did I say to you earlier? I said you multitask, like you multitask like that. You just always busy. I don't respect that anymore. I used to be there. What I've learned to respect is the fact that I had time to go do something and I had no work waiting on me. I have to enjoy life. And again, we just want to talk about things at the same time.
Right.
If you're on here and if you even watch this at any point in time, please know that people care about you, even if you don't know who they are. Because if someone was here and they needed somebody to talk to, we would stop this whole show and talk to y'all. Again, Lee made it clear. This is a family now. This is our therapy. Like we get it in. right?
Mhm.
And if
Oh
we do
yeah.
nothing else but make this an example for people that will come together and just have conversation. This is what having conversation does. It makes you healthier.
Absolutely.
Makes you healthier. Like that man didn't want to be on this show. I mean, he was deciding not to come on this show this year. I'm thankful that he decided to come. And so, again, there was a reason that he wanted to. And so, if we could do nothing else, let this be an example to you all. Find people that want to talk and want to value your thoughts, and then restore that purpose in your life. Please, I don't want to have that respect, and that's just my opinion, my
Bravo.
position. Yeah,
Bravo.
I don't want to respect that. So I'll do whatever I can to stop it. So,
Bravo.
yes, sir. So, all right. I'm done with it. Okay, listen. I appreciate this, and I'm gonna just stay this course, and I'm not gonna talk about what we normally talk about here. But I had a question about something about overcoming abuse, and I'm talking about being in an abusive relationship. By definition, I've never been in one, but I have seen some. And my thing is, as a person who's seen it, I've struggled with how to respond to these type of relationships. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Carol said, this is why I come here every week. We all need someone to talk to. You guys don't know the low times that you bring a smile to my face. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you,
Thank
Carol.
you. That means a lot. Thank you so much. And we're going to keep doing it as long as Devin ain't going out of town. So anyway, okay. I wanted to know, because life is not what it used to be. I remember a time when I saw a woman getting attacked by a man, and I went to her aid. I didn't even know her, but I went to her aid. You don't do that now. And I don't understand how we help others in these situations now. Like, I don't know. Like, I hesitate, and I won't even do it because, again, people are getting out of control, right? Like, you help a woman now, and this is just my experience. You stop a dude from doing something to you, she get mad at you for helping him.
Correct.
And even still, we will look at a woman putting her hands on a man and be like, "Oh man, he be all right. That girl about to kill him." And so I'm just wondering, you know, everybody, again, we are intellectual. I'm just asking for conversation. How should we approach a friend? Because do we get involved with our friends if they're in these type of relationships? Do we keep our mouths shut still? I mean, how do we do that? Do we say, hey, or what? I mean, go on, Mr. Neighborhood.
So yes, you get involved in a different way. And Brother DJ, this is when I'd get to revisit your comment from the previous Digging in Your Business segment. You know, there used to be a time when we thought about abuse. It only, or primarily, I should say, applied to men abusing women. But abuse can be in many forms now. And so when we hear this big, bad, toxic male terminology out there, you know, we think about a man lording over a woman or physically beating her. Well, you know, there's just as many abusive situations that involve women now being the instigators of it. And as you said, brother Brenton, you know, where do you fit in? I have tried to make my entire platform called Real Talk for Real Men about this very thing. How I get involved is I try to pull a curtain back and open up the dialogue to everybody being able to understand what a healthy relationship actually looks like. And and Kenny can attest to this as a regular member of the family. We try to breach topics that make everybody take a look at their relationship and hold the mirror up and say, why am I here? Do I deserve better? You know, to identify. I truly hope that long after my opinionated ass shares my views, that when the camera goes off, that they're having that conversation with that significant other, with themselves, or that trusted friend, to be able to say that, hey, I didn't look at it that way, but is this relationship healthy? And to see a way out. And that's where I try to do on my platform, because you're right. To try to physically get into it, you're running the risk of, so many things that can hurt you. Now, if I had a physical friend of mine, if I saw Devin get attacked, I have no choice but to get involved. I literally live in fear of when I'm out with a female friend of her being disrespected, because it's going to put me in that god awful position of who I am at my core. I've got to say something. I've got to do something. Like if I went home to visit and I saw one of my sisters in abuse, I've got to say something. That's who I am. I'm going to run the risk of whatever that circumstance might be. I've got to do something. But for all the women that I may never meet, may never know, and men included, I hope that some of the things we talk about helps you to identify that you deserve better. You don't have to stay in that situation. So that, because like you, I'd never personally been in an abusive relationship. All the nasty, filthy, no good shit that I've done to women, they truly enjoy. Don't nobody love hoes like I love hoes, but they enjoyed every last thing I've done to them. Some of the shit I wouldn't be able to go as far as they wanted me to do to them. You nasty, no good bitches. But having said that, hey, I ain't gonna be abusing you.
You come on back.
I'm sick.
I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. Sister, okay, I'm gonna bring it back serious. Y'all even try to say it. I'm gonna bring it back. I have encountered a loved one that picked up the phone. This is years ago. She called me and she said, "Hey, I need your help. He just beat me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm married and I have kids." And I told her, I said, "If I come get you," I said, "you are jeopardizing my family."
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to have to, if this dude has a problem, if I have to shoot him, my family has lost their father. I said, so if I get you out this situation and you go back, don't ever call me again.
Right.
And I know that was harsh, but that's the point. Like you people, and again, I see what GJ's saying. I see where everybody's standing on their pillars and having, because of their experiences. But I'm just saying, like, how do we resolve this where we can help other people? I don't know.
I want to address DJ because I actually agree that abuse comes from both sides. I just think the not the problem. I think that a lot of times with men, you're afraid to say something, especially if it's not just physical, because you feel like it makes you look weak for some reason. But I've actually seen people look more beat down from like emotional, mental, and financial abuse. They just look defeated, right? I've even dealt with it with someone close. But and then I tried to step in and be Captain Saver, because I've endured some form of this in my whole life. The only memory I have as a 3-year-old is watching my dad stomp the shit out of my mom, and nobody, out of all 5 of us, we couldn't do anything about it, to where she ended up having hysterectomies, and it was a hot mess. And then getting in relationships that mimic that, because that's what we do, right? Where there wasn't any so-called physical abuse, because I'm a little crazy, but it did turn into like the emotional abuse, the mental, the financial, where you just to make sure you can never stand on your own, or you don't have the confidence to do so. And such. But what I've learned from stepping in here lately, unfortunately, is that no good deed goes unpunished.
That's it.
Right. So I've had to learn to accept that and deal with that. But my problem is I'm still learning where to go after that. Because when you feel like you've been burned and you've been mistreated as a result of trying to be there, and it comes back on you, you continue to allow yourself to be that rug, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That doormat. So you can definitely overcome it. And that's part of the reason why I am the way I am. If y'all hadn't figured that out, I've been through some stuff. I've learned some lessons in my life. And as a result of that, there's a lot of bullshit I am not going to tolerate. It's just, I'd rather be alone. They make too much they make too many things, and thirsty ass men out here to not be able to borrow 1 or 2 when necessary. I'm not tolerating no shit. but I'm also never going to mistreat the person that I'm involved with. But if you choose to mistreat me or not respect me, that's on you. So you can definitely always overcome abuse. I just need to learn how you deal with a loved one who's being abused when you end up being the one to be hurt.
Kenny, I'm gonna give you this one, bro. I subscribe to this understanding. I prefer that you let me in at the beginning instead of trying to infuse me in at the end. See, I've been a man all my life. And if you want me to tell you the type of man that you're going to deal with, I don't need long. Just give me a few hours, give me a couple of days. I'll tell you before you even see the red flags, what the red flags look like. Instead of you trying to come to me after you have tried to fix him, change him, and all these other kind of things. No, I'm a man. We've been men. We know what men think, how they act. So let me see it from the beginning. And if you trust me, I'll just tell you, hey, this is how this dude is. This is how he's going to be. And this is what it's going to be. So I don't know if you really want to fool with all that. Let me know from the jump. That's any of y'all. Y'all, listen, let me see him. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what's up. I don't care about him. And then, but then you don't have the investment, right? And so you can get out of it. Let us talk to them up front instead of us having to come and put our families in jeopardy. I mean, what you think about that, bro?
That too, because I've done that too, and I've been told that I was negative, I was jealous, I was a hater.
But then don't call me later then.
Now all of it came to fruition, everything that I saw and what I said, but it's still on the front end and the back end. I still got, you know what I'm saying? I still got that.
Well, that's fine. Just don't comment.
Yeah.
Let me read.
Yeah. And Carol, go ahead.
Okay.
I was gonna read it for you, Brandon.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, then.
Yeah, Carol says she experienced this situation with her granddaughter. She said we ran to her aid and she went right back to him. I'm no longer running to her aid. It's happened too many times. And I think that's the biggest thing. When you talk about bad, overcoming abuse. Yeah, don't feel bad. And what you were talking about, Brenton, I would say this. It would definitely be good to know on the front end, and if they talk to us about this man, but most of the time they're not going to talk to us about it. And then by the time they're telling us that this situation has gotten to the point of physical abuse, they already knee deep in it. And so now you putting us in the middle of a bad situation. But I would say love, love is, I always say love is a tricky word, but I would say this about love though to any woman or man out there. If you feel that if you in love or you loving somebody, love isn't abusive. And when I say that, that means if somebody loves you, they're not going to abuse you physically or mentally or financially. Right. So it's really that simple. If you feel like you're getting abused in either one of those categories, that's not love. That's control, and that's dysfunction. So if you want to be a part of that dysfunction, because some people they feel like that's what love is. Because some people were raised on survival and not on love. And what I mean that is that their survival was built on dysfunction. Some people don't know how to love, and their only way to love is they think is showing a person abuse. So you got to just figure that person out. As far as trying to overcome that outside looking in, I try not to get involved again, like you said, Brenton, because that could jeopardize whatever I got going on. So if you love me as your family member or your friend or whatever, you're not gonna put me in the middle of that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I'll add one last thing. And I'll add one last thing to this black. And I ain't gonna go down the hole with it. Brenton, you'll love this. So even in love, though, there is pain, there is mistreatment, there is things, because the Bible talks about one of the facets of love is being forgiven. That is one of the qualities. So a person can't be forgiven unless you do a transgression. And I know that could take the conversation to a whole nother level. I love Brenton's face, but I just wanted to add there that, believe it or not, even in love, even in that altruistic love, There are mistakes and there are errors and there are things we do wrong because we're human.
Well, that just because he said it, I'm gonna make this point.
And I looked at I looked at Lady D's face, and she said, "Hell no." I'm just. Is that what you said, Lady D?
Pretty much, yeah.
So I'll say this.
I'm quoting the Bible.
Yeah. But I'll say this to Lee's point, and I'm gonna let him have it because he's next.
No, I'm gonna stop saying anything else.
No. I'm saying it's your segment is next. That's what I'm saying. So at that point, number one, he said we're human, and the one who forgave our transgressions was not entirely. And number two, he voluntarily took that abuse, and he did it with no complaining. So if you can do all those three things, then fine. You can subscribe to that space. But other than that, if you got a problem, let us help you before you get into it. And then if you still want to stay there, well, then leave us alone. Because I don't.
I got a rebuttal to that, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
That's why I say this conversation could go. It could go now.
Yeah.
It could go now.
Yeah. No, you're good. It's good. So all right. So again, it was just conversation, and we're talking. And Miss Carol, I mean, there are people that feel our pain, and so we understand. So don't feel ashamed if you can't help. Again, know what you're willing to do. I'm not willing to react. I'm willing to be proactive. Right. And so I'll be proactive. I just won't react because you then at that point it's my fault and no more. I ain't doing that. So okay, that is all right, ladies and gentlemen. So here he is, the favorite part of y'all. This show for y'all. Lee Black, The Road Taken.
So I don't know if it's the favorite part, but I appreciate people for hanging around, and for those who will watch this, when it's all after. I truly hope you get something from what I'm about to say here. Robert Frost, the poet, his masterpiece is called The Road Not Taken. And so The Road Not Taken is a classic poem that it argues about the importance of the choices that we make. And whether they're big or small, it talks about those choices and how it shapes our lives. Hence, we get the expression, the road not taken. So I wanted to talk about the road taken. And in this instance, I want to pay homage and give flowers to my boy, Brother Kenny. And we started this show off by letting you know that he's monetized now. And so I wanted to honor him in the sense that you may not know the steps it took for him to get to that point.
Yeah.
This is my brother from another who has been dealing with financial issues from the pandemic that he never fully recovered from. This is a man that made life choices to go be supportive of his children in their worst time of need. This is a man that has been dealing with loss, literal loss of loved ones continually. And this is a man that had to make some true life choices about how do I reinvent myself. And so for him, the road that he took was hard work, sacrifice. Don't nobody know about the time and effort, energy, and love that goes into building a channel and to be consistent and to put out content, quality content, and to stay true to who you are. And so that one of our family is able to do that, and we watch this journey. And for those people that think that this happens overnight, this is work. Don't let me tell you anything about it. It takes a tremendous commitment to show up every week, to put out that quality of content. And Mr. Kenny, Sports Hustle himself, that is the hardest working man in the TFG family. And to watch him take his content and go from where he was to get to this place, it's just been beautiful. And if we can show up on social media and honor people when they get a new car and they move in a new high-rise building, and when they get a promotion, we are not going to gloss over the fact that what he did was absolutely phenomenal. And I couldn't be prouder of my brother, and that he showed us the way, and he did it all with integrity, honesty, and staying true to himself. And so I appreciate the road that he's taken, and I salute you, my brother.
Wow.
There it is. Good job, man.
Wow.
Well,
I'm at a
that
loss,
sweater look
man.
good on you right now, man.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, look at it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
I don't know where
Much
D
love.
Hart
Wow.
is, but D Hart, he gonna be balling. You better come back, girl.
He on that money train, Miss D Hall.
You better get
Just give it to him.
better get pregnant.
Stop it. Stop.
Oh, you messing.
You are so messy, Lady D. You are so messy.
What's up, man? Good to see you, DJ. All right,
Wow.
I remember in college,
What
a
up, real
homegirl was
estate?
getting
What up, DJ?
beat up by her man. We went up to save her. She tells us to mind our business. So I was like, hey, man, go ahead and continue. Well, yeah. All
DJ
right.
is a damn fool.
That's it, man. Just
Yeah.
walk off now. You ain't gotta say all
Right.
that, man. All right, bro. Great show, y'all. I appreciate
Wow.
that. Kenny,
Man.
well deserved. Black, thank you for sending those flowers.
Thank you, brother.
sure.
Much love, brother. For real.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Listen, it's that time. It's final thoughts time. It's time to go, and we did a great job again. So I appreciated everybody for showing us all the love. Listen, she the winner tonight, honey. She gave all y'all the business. So
Yeah.
I'll let her go and start the thing off, please.
My final thought is, I think one of the excerpts from the poem that Black mentioned was, "I took the road less traveled by." I read sometimes, y'all. With that being said, I want to go back and speak to women again, especially those of us who end up in situations with dumbass Mike Epps or even abusive situations. Don't follow the herd. You know what I'm saying? Form your own path. I always tell people, you teach people how to treat you, and you have to teach people how to treat you. And if you wake up in the morning and your goal is to be an Instagram hoe or to be a kept woman, you're gonna be treated just like that, an Instagram hoe. And that's why I said that. I said it to be insulting. That's not something you should strive for. You should strive for better, because when you strive for better and you build that foundation, people want to follow you because they notice that you're happy and that you're not tolerating this and you're not tolerating that, and you would expect whomever you're with to treat you right. That's just what happens. I mean, so we have to increase our standards with people like Mike Epps, because you really don't need that, because he give me broke vibes. That's why he going around doing all these podcasts and stuff like that. And when she finally leave him, you know what I'm saying? God forbid, whatever he may give her, allegedly, she can take a pill and get rid of it. But that may be all she leave with is itchy coochie. You just need to make better decisions with the people that you choose, and it may hurt, but you get over it. You get over it faster than you do staying in it for many, 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 many years. So women, we gotta do better. We gotta take her our pH. All right.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Honey. She just leaves off.
Ma'am.
Picked up where she left off. All right, man. All right, brother. Come on now. You got more than that.
She did.
Oh, well, look, with all due respect to Sister Devin, when you know better, you do better. So I'm a reformed Holmeister myself, so I truly understand where Mike Epps was coming from. I didn't get chlamydia 4 times in a row by myself. I didn't get it from Jack and Oak. So them nasty bitches that was swallowing every drop, they were somewhere in the vicinity. And then talk about raising your standards. So when you get older, you do better. I changed my standard, When I was a young man, I didn't care if she had teeth or whatever. She didn't even have to have limbs. So now my standards are different, and I'm looking for a different type of hoe. Still got to be a hoe. Still got to be a freak. But, you have to raise that bar a little bit. And so I understand where he was coming from. And, shout out to you. I get it, my brother, so it is what it is. So hoes, if I got to do better, you got to do better too. God bless you.
No, wait a minute. What was the final thought?
I got to do better. Hoes got to do better too.
Hoes do better. That's what he said.
Okay, I'll just making sure out of all that I figure out what the final thought was. Okay. DJ, you got to go back and watch Devin's segment. She I did a whole monologue
Yeah.
for about at least 10 minutes on it. So yes, please, by all means,
my
feel free.
goodness.
All right,
God,
thank you, Black.
dog.
Y'all do better, ladies, please, for his sake, I guess. Yes.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right, Kenny, man, come on, man.
Man, I don't even know how I follow hoes, and then I follow Devin going off on. And then here I am. I got to bring. I'm hitting in the cleanup spot in baseball.
Well, listen,
I'm hitting
you
cleanup.
just making all the money. Man. That's sorry, yeah.
But I want to say, man, y'all just don't know, man, how much y'all energy, man, gives me life, man. And I just want to say to Black, man, my brother from another mother, my Capricornian brother, man. I wasn't expecting that, man. I just do what I do. If y'all know me, man, I'm like Devin. I don't bother nobody. I just do what I do. But I have a passion for what I do. And I believe in my talent. And I believe that I'm just as good as anybody that's doing this thing. I believe that. I just hadn't gotten the opportunity. But what I had to do, I had to create my own. And then that's what you have to do. And so I want to tell those that's out there that's watching, whatever your talent may be, create your own lane. Because believe me, you know, I was told no quite a few times in the industry that I was in that I'm no longer in. I wasn't ready, but I saw other people getting the opportunity that I'm like, I can do that. I can do it better than them. I got more experience than them, but I got passed over. So you got to just create your own lane, reinvent yourself, because while you still living, you know, you still above ground, you can still reinvent yourself. I don't care how old you are. I am 55 years old, and I ain't got no shame in my game telling my age. I'm starting over. But believe me, I believe my finish is going to be better than my start. So that's why I'm at where I'm at right now. So I just want to encourage those that's maybe in the same position I am. Man, life ain't over. You just got to reinvent yourself, figure it out, know what your God-given talents are, and rock it. And I guarantee you, the door's going to open. They're opening up for me right now. So I just want to give those this encouragement. I want to appreciate everybody that watched me. And I want you to watch TFG tonight. You got to know I got to market. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, share this show. Subscribe to my guy, Lee Black, Real Talk for Real Men, TFG Ratchet. Make sure you keep watching. Brenton Haynes, TFG tonight. We got something coming. My lady D, she be in the bushes, but she here. You know where y'all come find her, TFG. Right. You can get her too. So it is what it is. So much love, man. And you know, I want to see us all win. I want to see us all eat, because it's out there for us. So that's my final thought.
Yes, sir. Man, that is really funny, Kenny. I swear you've been in my notes for my final thought, but you ain't gonna mess it up again. You tried, but that's all right. Yeah, man. Eat the truth, ain't it, DJ? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that, DJ.
So I have a question for you all, real quick. If I ask you to tell me, well, we kind of heard from Kenny, but he'll have to say it again. But if I ask you to tell me something you are really good at, what would you say it was?
Sports, definitely me. Talking that talk, sports talk.
I know,
that's what I'm good at.
Devin, Craig said he waiting on the show. She did a show way back then called Ladies Night.
She did. Yes, she did way back when, Craig. Yeah.
I'm good at talking ish and cake artistry.
Cake? You know how to bake cakes?
I know how to decorate cakes. I know how to make cool looking cakes. I hate baking. I just like to make the cakes look pretty.
Okay. All right. I got my son's birthday coming up. I'll holler at you. Okay. Very good. Black. Well, I don't. I don't even. I know. Just don't even. No. Matter of fact. No, he don't.
I want to hear. I want to hear my
PG stuff too.
Brother, what do you got?
See, y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't right.
I mean, stuffing hot dogs somewhere and making chop. I mean, who knows what's with the. What you good at, brother? Come on now.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm good at dealing with people. I'm gonna keep it at that. Y'all ain't right.
All right. You good with dealing with people. All right. Listen, he said, yeah, we used to have one of them too. So yeah. Okay, well, watch this, and then I'll add my 2 cents in just a second. Here we go.
Oh man, your ass tripping, man.
Another
Oh hell no!
I'm just saying.
DJ, while you playing, it sound pretty good. And can I need you to do the baking, and I can you bake it, and I make it look like a pair of J's. There we go.
He like Kobe, so you gotta do the Mamba shoes. You don't like J's. Y'all just messed up y'all not messing up my final thought. Now I had something to say. Hold on. Yes, I know.
Fraction.
You're right. Okay, so let me show my video one more time so I can do my part. Just a second.
Oh man, your ass tripping, man.
I like the guy said, "Your ass tripping, man." If you know you can't do that,
Right,
That's my whole point, right? Listen, you don't need to tell nobody what you're good at. Just show me what you can do, and then we'll tell you whether or not you're good or not. How about that? Don't tell somebody you're good at something and then go find out that you're not, clown, because you're gonna bust your head wide open, right? Girl said, I felt that. Didn't we all? So listen, stop telling people what you're good at, because he just might let you know. What are you gonna let them know, Black? You tripping.
That's right. That's right.
You tripping. Yeah, tripping in more ways than big time. So listen, y'all, fantastic show, and I appreciate everybody for being on. I guess, Devin, you got about 4 other shows to do this week. So we'll look forward to seeing
them. Everybody waiting on you. Me and Black coming.
We coming.
Me and Black, y'all. We coming. We coming.
Okay.
We'll let you know.
Right.
We
let
coming.
us know.
All right.
Please.
All right.
Good. All right. Well, listen, that's Black, Kenny, they coming, and that's Devin. She in the bushes, but we'll also y'all back there. Peace out.